Oh, me. Well, I'm about a minute late today. Hopefully, you'll excuse me on that. But I got up here and thought I had some stuff preliminary done, but then when I got up to the shop, I had to redo it. So hopefully, I'll get some people in here. I'm here, but like I said, about a minute late. But we'll go with that. Hopefully, everybody will see me start popping in. At least I think they will. We'll check that out in just a minute or two. As everybody can see, I've got my truck behind me with some. I got some goodies. Let's see if I can show it. Hey, Jamie, how are you? I'm doing good. Hey, James, how are you? Yep, I'm up here at the shop. I've got the truck about half full of merchandise that I got in an auction yesterday. I went to a auction that is sort of a farm auction. The guy had, he was a farmer, had some land, and had a bunch of equipment and tools and stuff like that. And yeah, yeah, I'm tardy too. I was about a minute late. I was about a minute or so late getting started myself. So I wasn't 9 o'clock on the dot this morning. This Dodge is a 2012. I bought it new back in 2012. I don't have many miles on it. It's only got it's a dually. It's not a four-wheel drive, and um, it's the pre-emissions. Thank goodness, there's no DEF in this one. I don't have to use DEF, and it's only got 54,000 miles on it, I believe. I just use it when I need it. I don't use it as a daily driver. I mean, I put there's been spurts where I put some miles on it, but I use it to do what I need to do. Like if I need to use my gooseneck, or like this, going to a sale, need a truck, and every once in a while I'll get out and ride it and go a couple hundred miles in it or whatever. But it's usually just around town and that sort of stuff, and uh, keep it serviced and keep it going. Do a few things to it. I changed out the radio system in it a few years ago. Put the CarPlay. I got a big screen CarPlay player in it, and that's nice. And uh, then I've got uh, uh, what else about that? Well, of course, it's got the gooseneck in it. I can use my gooseneck trailer, and we put a couple of backup cameras on it and a few things like that. But it's a nice truck. It's all I need for a good sized diesel and everything. Something to pull some things. Well, I didn't entertain it to sell it. I've got a four wheel drive. I've got my F-150 as a four wheel drive, and but I like this one just like it is. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now I've got a '09 service truck dually. Well, I mean it's a tandem, dually, and got the service bed on it, and it's set up. It was pre-set up with a uh, four-wheel drive in mind. I guess they put it's got the uh, front it's got the front drive axle and everything. So all you'd have to do is put a all you'd have to do is put a uh, the not the conversion kit. What am I trying to say? Uh, the four-wheel drive mechanism to go to the front drive, and it would be. But its front axle is a four-wheel drive axle for some reason, and I don't know why they built that one that way, but that's the way it came out. Oh, would it? Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not interested in selling it. That's the good thing about it. I mean, this truck is paid for. I mean, well, all my vehicles are paid for. I don't have a single car payment to my name, and that's the way I like it. And of course, all my classic cars are paid for. I don't owe anything on any classic car. Yeah, yeah. That pre-def is good, and that Cummins engine, and of course, I got the overdrive transmissions and everything else. I mean, it gets decent fuel mileage. I mean, that particular um, truck and everything. I mean, like that, and I mean, it's nice. It's what I like. I mean, I like I said, I don't have to have anything fancy. It's got everything, and like I said, I changed the audio system in it and put that. It's got I think it's a 5 speed or 6 speed automatic transmission. I don't know what that. I don't know what that. Yeah, I'd have to look it up, but it's automatic with an overdrive. So I mean, it'll move on down the road just fine. ASIN. I don't know what that is. What is that, James? I don't know what ASIN is. I don't know what those that symbol stands for. But I mean, it does everything. It does everything that I want it to. And like I said, it's got all the other amenities. Air and you know, uh, it's a crew cab. With a long bed. So it's got an 8 foot bed. Uh, like I said, and like I said, then I got it set up with the gooseneck too. Got the gooseneck. I got the gooseneck plug on the inside and everything, and um, so it'll take my gooseneck. I got 3 gooseneck trailers. I got a dump gooseneck and two flatbeds. So I've got some goosenecks that I can use and that sort of stuff. But it's it is what it is, and it very good for me and everything. Well, this week I've been doing a lot of things. Of course, the government's been doing little or nothing this week, all shut down and everything. But I haven't been shut down like the government has been. I oh man, let me get a little bit closer in a little bit. I might let me rearrange. Yeah, yeah. Since it's shut down, that means they're not going to make as many mistakes, are they? Yeah, yeah. We would hope we'd save them, but if Trump sticks to his word and they just eliminate a lot of those jobs, we'll be in great shape. And I hope they do. I hope they go in and yeah, yeah. Trump's kicking butt and taking names in Chicago and Portland and Memphis too. You know, all 3 of those major cities are getting their butt kicked a little bit, and I hope they do. I hope they do. We've got the resources, and we've always had the resources. It's just terrible that some of these big cities make these cops stand down like they do, and it makes no sense. I mean, why even have cops if you're gonna make them stand down? And that's what they have done in the past. And I'm glad to see that we're not doing that. I'm glad that we are, you know, like I said, kicking butt and taking names, or taking names and kicking butt. Is that what? Well, whichever. But they need to do that. We need to clean up our cities, and it makes no sense to me why the Democrats think that their policy of not having law and order is a good thing. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. It's to say, well, we don't need law and order. We need all this other crazy stuff. Yep. Well, I think Chucky Schumer, uh, like the president did, Chucky Schumer and what's the other dude's name? Uh, they they might as well get their sombrero hats and take a siesta right now because they're not wanting to work, so they can take a siesta. And if they can't see the irony in that, uh, I mean, it's crazy. It shows how lazy they are, how how we'll just shut down the government. Oh, whoopee. Yeah, and then you're gonna shut down the government, and I hope they lose their butt. I hope the Democratic Party just goes bonkers on this crazy stuff. I mean, they're down to 27% now, likability and everything, and I don't think the government. I don't think the average person feels like our government under their leadership was anything, and it wasn't. It was terrible. And I hope they realize that. And I hope they realize that President Trump is doing some things. I hope so. I hope they do. I hope they go down to squat. I'd like to see them down to 10% approval rating. I mean, it's pathetic because you're never get them that low. I mean, you got these loyalists. I mean, I know crazy people that will back the Democratic Party if if the devil was running it. I mean, that's how crazy they are. My wife used to teach school with another guy that he they kind of had they swapped students halfway during the day. He did the English and history stuff, and she did the math and science, and they would swap students during the day. In other words, he would teach the first part of the day. She would teach the major part, the second part of the day, and on the major studies and everything. And but he was a. I mean, I knew real quick that he was an idiot because he said, "I know who I'm going to vote for 20 years from now." I said, "How you know that?" He said, "He's got a D in front of his name." And I said, "That's about as stupid as anything." I said, I don't. If somebody really comes good from the other party, and I like him way better than I do anybody else, I can vote for him. I'm not so stupid, but I mean, as it stands right now, I know in the last 15 years, or at least last 10 or 12, if they got a D in front of their name now, I just see the word dummy because I'm not going to touch them with a 10-foot pole. I mean, you know, it even sways me on the local politicians that want to align themselves as a Democrat. And I mean, they have a tendency, and especially here in North Carolina and western part of the state. I mean, a lot of people look at that and go, well, if you align yourself with the Democratic Party locally, I don't even want to have you. So that kind of tells you what it's all about. Well, I know it, and that's what uh, that's what aggravates you. Thank goodness at that point. Well, I mean, he it's something. Marco Rubio is we got JD Vance and Marco Rubio. Both are very presidential, and my problem going into the next major election with president is those two are going to be paired up against each other. I'm afraid, and I'd like to see them paired together. That would be a strong team to have one of them as president, one of them as vice president. And I like JD Vance. JD Vance, he can take on anybody, and Marco Rubio can too. Both of them are very strong uh, candidates, and I don't have any problem with either one of them as a former, I mean, former future president. And so we have some strong people there. So we'll see. We'll see. And I guess the Democrats are going to rely on Slick Willie out in California. He thinks he's going to be the next president. I mean, he, he has ruined California, and how the people in the nation can't look at him and say, "What have you done to California the past 10 years? Do you think I want you as president?" I mean, that's it, plain and simple. Yeah, I think we are. I think we're in real good hands going forward. Long as we don't get them alienated against each other. You wish, in a way, that uh, J.D. Vance could just take over as president and keep the same cabinet. I mean, the cabinet is strong right now. I mean, with everybody he's got, uh, Lee Zeldin working for him, and what's some of the others? Of course, all Christy Nome and all of them working for him, and uh, Gabbert and um, who else am I trying to think of? Well, even the guy from South Dakota, I mean, not South Dakota, North Dakota, as it was an Interior Secretary. I can't remember. Oh yeah, they got an idiot running the show. Yeah, California is a you know uh, topography wise is a very pretty state. Uh, Industrial wise, they suck as far as what they got going on out there, and all the taxes. I don't see how people survive out there. I mean, I've got some friends that live out there, and I do not understand how they can survive. I mean, everything is so ultra inflated. I mean, go out there and buy diesel fuel for $7, $8 a gallon. And I filled up this truck the other day here in North Carolina, 2.99, 2.99 a gallon, and for diesel. And that is fantastic. I mean, that shows what Trump has done to get it down to 2.99 a gallon. I mean, I can afford it then. And as much diesel equipment I have, and speaking of that, I got me a new piece of equipment. I bought me a bulldozer or a loader. I bought me a loader. Uh, I bought me an older Cat. I bought a Cat 961, 951, 961. I believe it's 951. I believe it's right outside. A 951C. It's an older Cat. It's about 70, 78, 79 model, something like that. But it's got a good, strong engine in it, and, and the undercarriage has been redone, and it looks good. And um, I got some. I got to have to tune it up and a few things. A little, it needs. It doesn't have a muffler on it. They were running a straight pipe, and boy, that thing will blow your ears off when you're sitting behind that exhaust pipe. But I had to wear headphones and everything. But it really does the work for me. It's not that cheap in Florida. Yeah, yeah, we got it at 2.99 over in Shelby right now. Now, most of the state it's around 329, 329, 339, but over in Shelby, just a few miles from here, they got a little bit of a gas war over there between two gas stations across from each other, and they're selling diesel fuel at 2.99 a gallon. And I have filled up every car I've got. I mean, I filled this one up the other day. Of course, still took 70, $71, I think, to fill it up. Oh, it's about $4 down there. Yeah. No, we're doing pretty good up here. So far, so good. I like it. I like it at 2.99. And you know, I got something in my eye here bothering me a little bit. But I'm hopeful that maybe this shutdown, like I said, will straighten out a few things for our government. Maybe they'll get out and uh, clean up some of this mess in the meantime and get rid of some of these programs that they were going to have to vote on and everything. Now that they've got everything shut down, I think it's going to be easier for Trump to. It's going to be easier for him to eliminate some of these programs. Yeah, well, we're not we're holding our own, as like I said, for fuel. Like I said, diesel fuel being at 2.99 is great. I can live with that. I can live with that. If it stays like that for a long periods of time, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. And I'd like to see um, I like to see us be able to uh, you know stabilize some of this stuff so we won't have too much inflation. I mean, we got some inflation and everything that we're going to have to deal with, but I think all in all, we can do pretty good. I think we'll do fine. Versus you, yeah, I'll have to do that, but because FedEx basically is contractor. Uh, FedEx, well, the majority of FedEx. Now they got FedEx Freight, which is that's company owned trucks and drivers. And then you've got FedEx Express, same way. But then the rest of it, uh, FedEx Ground, of course, they're doing away with that name of FedEx Ground. They're just calling it FedEx, and they're merging FedEx Express into FedEx Ground. And I would imagine that in a few years, it's all going to be contractor base. And then when it's like that, that means that the contractor, which I was at one time, he hires his own employees. Now you're restricted to hire the type that they want. In other words, you just can't hire Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street and throw him in a truck. They have to go through the background checks and everything else that they put everybody else through, and they've got to have proper license and everything else. So it is restrictive in that respect. In other words, you can't say, "Hey, you want to come work for me? Come on, can you drive a truck?" Throw them in a truck and let them go, just because they got the right license. I mean, they got to have the right experience. They have to be approved through a clearinghouse that they use that does all the background checks and everything else. So your driver has to be cleared through that clearinghouse, and uh, that that's the difference right there. Oh, well, I guess that's a similarity. I mean, you have to go through the same criteria that they would if they were hiring you for FedEx Express. Uh, Basically, you meet their minimum regulations before you can hire anybody. And then once you have, and then the contractor owns the routes, and getting those routes, and it's a hard thing to kind of figure all that out now, because I started with them. I started with them when they hired you as a contractor slash driver, and they say, here's a truck, here's your route. And then that evolved into some different things later on, which I was privy to, and I got to take advantage of that. I'll have to explain that one time. I've got it, a little bit of that in some of my older videos. I probably ought to put some of that out. But being away from it for 5 years now, I'm not as I'm not as up to date as I used to be, and so I'd almost have to revert back and ask some of my buddies that are still contractors what has changed, uh, because there have been some changes that, thank goodness, I didn't have to do. They're strict, and they're strict as a contractor. You have to, as far as equipment and safety and everything else, they are very, very strict. So it's not an easy uh, row to hoe. I can tell you that. It's a tough row to hoe, um, because they have some strict restrictions, and they're getting stricter too. So, I'll have to go over that and find out a little bit more about that. But they are getting stricter, uh, especially when it comes to getting the proper equipment. Yeah, thank goodness I'm not in the game. Thank goodness I'm out of that game. Thank goodness that uh, I'm reaping the benefits of getting paid back for what my all my investment in time and money was back in the day, and I'm still reaping the benefits from that, and I feel real good. It's it's afforded me the opportunity to have some good equipment, good business, good buildings. I've got all my buildings should be paid off in the next few years. I've got 3 buildings that I've got financed right now, and, of course, this one I'm sitting in is paid off. The one across the road, well, 2 I got 2 across the road from here, and the one we just bought last year, I've got a good renter in it, and they've been in that building for 8 or 10 years, and I they just continued on, and I just took up, uh, their lease that they had. And then, of course, my other big building that I was using, I've just got it for storage right now of my stuff. My wife says I need to make it more productive, and I may need to. I may need to kind of update it a little bit and rent it out. Right now, like I said, everything in it's mine, and it's a good shop. It's a 60 by 120. It's a big shop, and I could probably get real good rent out of it. I could probably knock down 4 or 5,000 a month on it, and I probably should do it. I should what I should do is build some storage buildings, put all my stuff in storage, and then uh, rent that building out, and and eventually I could rent this one out too if I wanted to. I've built on to a lot of at my house. I've increased my shop down there, in which I could still increase it more if I wanted to, and put more things down there. But right now, I've got um, I'm happy with how things are. I enjoy this building. I mean, I could rent this one out for a good price and all that sort of stuff. But me and Jim we've got to have somewhere to go. But as long as Jim's still working for me, and I'm not doing anything other than what we're doing, I'm gonna keep this building as is. And this is a great size for Jim and I right here, and I'm gonna keep it. But as far as the big one, the smart thing to do would be to utilize all my space in here, take all the good equipment that I have over there into this building and rent that building out, and then put the rest of it in storage and everything. But I'd have to downsize on the cars I've got. I've got 4 cars over there. I've got 4 cars over there, 3 cars over here, 1 car at the shop at the house. So out of all my cars, I need to sell my '56 Pontiac. We Jim and I, we're tired of that. You get tired of messing with something. we're tired of messing with this one. I'm gonna probably sell that one and get a different project. I'm gonna improve my T-Bird. That's my next big pro. I want to make that a really nice car. Probably looking at maybe putting a crate engine in it and make it just modernize it to death. I want to get the AC in it. It's a beautiful car, and I want it to look and feel like a new car on the inside when I'm driving it. So that's one of the things I'm gonna do probably, and uh, that sort of stuff. But we'll see, we'll see. I'm going to just play around with it and enjoy it and everything, and have a good time. You know, that's life. That's what life's all about. Right now, I've got outside projects I'm real busy with. Like I said, I bought this bulldozer, and I've got a lot of cleanup to do out in the pasture. I've worked hard. Y'all don't see it. I guess I'll have to film it and show what I've been doing out here. But I've been cleaning up, and uh, I've got about 35, 40 acre field, pasture and everything over here across from my shop. And I've been cleaning it up and getting it ready. And I may put some cows in it. Uh, we got the pond on the other side, and we're thinking about maybe putting a few Black Angus cows in it. Maybe I got a good friend of mine, and we may go partners on it so he can help run them down when they got problems. Because I don't want to chase cows all my life, that's for sure. But uh, that sort of stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just taking my time with it, and we may extend the pasture now that I bought this other 5 acres. I may extend the pasture on down to adjoin my other acreage I got here. I could add another 8 acres of pasture there. Yeah, I'll do that, Jamie. I'll have to take some pictures of it. And it's new to me, but an old cat. Uh, if I had a good enough camera, I would show you today because it's just right across the way from me right now. I got it parked out in the pasture, but it is what it is. It's old style. It's like I said, it's a 751 crawler. It's a crawler, 751 crawler loader. Basically, not a it's not a blade. It's a loader. I wanted a loader. I like a loader. A loader is more beneficial for me when I'm out digging and everything, and so that's the reason I got that. But it seems to be knock on wood or aluminum here, and hopefully it'll be doing fine. Well, guys, I am going to get off because you can't see it, but you can see a little bit of it sticking up. I got this pickup bed full of things I need to put up here at the shop, and the rest of it goes back down to my house. So I'm going to do that. And y'all take care, and I'll catch y'all out here next Sunday at least. And if y'all think anything you want to talk about, let me know, and I'll catch you later. See you guys.